Hey guys, welcome back to another video. As I promised in a previous video, I would do a comparison video regarding all of the new gear that we got for the Nulgath update in AQ3D, and that's what this video is about. The items I'm going to be comparing are found here in the Oversoul Forge, which you can check out. So you've got the entire Voidknight armor set. Now this does exclude any capes in all of this. There are no capes at all in this, but you do have one helm in here that we will be reviewing, and then of course the rest of the set for the Voidrakar. And then I keep forgetting you got to click down below, the stupid pet. So in here we've got the Hex armor set and staff. We'll be reviewing that along with those, and then last but not least, the blood stuff. So you've got the blood of Nulgath, the blood letters, and whatnot. So we're going to be comparing those three things, starting with the three weapons. Technically, we only got two weapons in this release. The Phoenix Blade of Nulgath 2 still being the superior weapon when it comes to attack and health. So if you're wanting one that focuses specifically on attack and health, the Phoenix Blade of Nulgath 2 is definitely the best option, and it's the one that I will choose to run with as well. However, you do have the Blood Letter of Nulgath with pretty good stats. The Hex Staff of Nulgath is pretty comparable, minus the fact that it has lower crit, but elevated haste. So if you are going between the Blood Letter or the Hex Staff, I would honestly just go with your visual preference, not stats. Next is the helms. So we have three helms that we can compare. The first of which is the Voidrakar. Is it Raker? I have no. I'm just going to call it Raker until further notice. So the Voidrakar of Nulgath. And so the stats are good, but they are in comparison with this. Now, if you look closely at this, and this one here, if you're going for more armor, is good when you want balanced evasion. Otherwise, this would win out in the armor department, but it does take a hit in evasion. This is nicely balanced. And then you have this one here, lower on the armor, but higher on the evasion. The attack and the health for all three are the same. Next, we have the boots. You've got the Voidrakar, you've got the Voidknight, you've got the Blood of Nulgath, and then the Hex of Nulgath. First of which we'll be looking at is this one right here. Very good armor, great evasion, and, good haste. And then you have this one here, slightly lower armor, but just so little, it makes very little difference. And then you've got the evasion being slightly higher. Again, very little difference between the two of them. And then your haste. So we've got a lower armor, a higher evasion, and a higher haste. And then we've got the Hex of Nulgath with the lowest armor. It has fairly low evasion compared to this, and then you have your haste, which is really good. It has so if you're going for a haste build, the Hex would be the direction to go. Next, we have the gloves. So the Voidrakar is at a pretty low health compared to the other ones. And then you've got the attack at 533, which is very nice. And then the crit and 1280 for the haste, which is good. So this is in comparison. You've got the Voidknight, which it's the exact same haste. The crit being exactly the same. The attack is where it takes a hit, but not a big hit. I mean, it's only 50 off or something like that. And then your health is increased. So, and then you have the Blood of Nulgath. This has the exact same health as the Voidrakar, as well as the Hex. So the attack, identical to that as well. You've got the crit, which is higher. So if you're going for an attack build with a higher crit, the Blood of Nulgath would be an obvious choice. You've got the haste, which does take a hit in that department. Then you've got this one here, again, the health and the attack, the same as the blood. The crit takes a huge hit, lower than both of these, and then you have a whopping haste. So it looks, just from reviewing the last two pieces of armor, the Hex is what you'd want to focus on if you're going for a haste build. Next is the belt. So the Voidrakar, we've got 800 armor, 560 evasion, and 560 haste. Nicely balanced. Then you have the Voidknight. Now this is lower armor, but higher evasion, and I think the trade-off would be personally worth it for me. You've got the haste being higher as well. So I would probably, personally speaking, I would go for this one over top of this one. But I mean, again, visually, I would go for this one. And then we've got the Blood of Nulgath belt. And this one here has a lower armor. Seems to be the running trend with some of these. And then you have the evasion, which is a nice number of evasion, nicely balanced with the haste, which is also higher, but not a whole lot higher, nor is the evasion a whole lot higher, but the armor is not a whole lot lower than the Voidknight. However, the Voidrakar, it's obviously there's a big difference between the two of them, but this is a very nicely balanced one. And then you have the Hex of Nulgath, with the armor being the lowest, as it always appears to be, the evasion being the lowest out of all of them, and then the haste being a whopping 800, which in comparison to this is a huge number. In comparison to this, even bigger. Taking a look at the shoulders. So the health of the Voidrakar is at an all-time low, but it seems in comparison with these other two. You've got the attack here, which is a very nice attack with 480 attack, and then you have your armor at 800 with your crit at, you know, a good number, over 1,000, and then you have this one here. So you've obviously got a much better health with the Voidknight. However, you do take a massive hit in the attack department, making this thing far better than this when it comes to attack. Again, not in the health, but your armor is exactly identical, and then your crit is exactly identical. So between the two of them, you would be trading off your health for your attack. When you're looking at the Blood of Nulgath, it seems to be in comparison with the Voidrakar. You've got the exact same thing. Where it takes a massive hit, though, is the armor. At 480 armor compared to 800 armor. And then you have your crit. And this is where this thing shines. So the Blood of Nulgath is definitely the crit one, the attack and crit build. Taking a look at the Hex of Nulgath, the health is in comparison with this and this. So these are obviously the offensive builds, and then you have the defensive, which is the Voidknight of Nulgath. And then you have the attack being in comparison with this. The armor is surprisingly high on this, and I mean, it's not in comparison to these two, but it's still really nice. However, you are doing the trade-off from these to this having a higher crit by over 100, the armor. Now here we go. So the Voidrakar is at 1,700 health, very nice, over 1,000 attack with 1,600 armor and over 600 evasion and 480 crit. Very nice numbers indeed. Looking at the Voidknight, we have 2,100 excellent health, way higher than that. But you will notice a massive decrease when it comes to the attack. This one outshines this one in that department very, very easily. The armor is balanced with this one. The evasion takes a whole 100 off the evasion. So this one definitely has a better evasion. However, it does trade it with the crit. So the crit is higher by 100. The Blood of Nulgath. So the health is in comparison with the Voidrakar, and you've got the attack, which is also identical to it. Where it does take a hit, however, is the armor. It isn't a whole lot lower, but it does take a hit from both of these. The armor is lower. You've got 480 evasion, which is an all-time low compared to these two right here. So this is a walking glass shell, but it does have amazing crit. And then you have the Hex Nulgath. So this is the balanced health, as you can see, in comparison with the other attack builds. And then you have the attack being, again, in comparison with these two. Very nice. 1,500 armor. And then you have 630 for the evasion, which is better than that and slightly better. Well, not better than this, but slightly better than that. Oh, actually, no, I mean, it's comparatively better to that. And then you have the crit. This would be overall, this would be the nice balanced one. So that is the comparisons between those armors. I hope it helped some of you guys out there. If this video helps you guys out, hopefully you can return the favor by tapping that like button and smashing the subscribe. A lot of my viewers are not subscribers, so I really appreciate it if you guys can tap that subscribe button. Thanks to all of you guys out there for all the support you've given me over the years, especially my Raven Squad members. Big thanks to all of you guys for everything you do. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and we'll see you guys in the next one.